Darts coming out as Melon pushing up.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to In the Gap. This is going to be your weekly 10-minute-ish show where we break down everything that's been going on with Project Gap. Now, before we jump straight into that, first up, I'm NaoriMizuki, or Sam. I'm going to be your host, taking you through all of the interesting information that we're going to present to you today. First and foremost, let me introduce my analyst, Neo. Tell us a little bit.
Thank you very much. Hi. How's it going? I'm NaoriMizuki, but call me Neo. I'm a CSGO and Valorant commentator, analyst, color caster, whatever you want to call it. Plenty of experience throughout the years. Obviously came from CSGO like a lot of Valorant people did, but now making that transition over towards Valorant. I'm thoroughly enjoying it so far.
Nice. Glad to have you with us. And of course, our guest for today, it is Dreo. Dreo, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hey, I'm Dreo. I'm from the Overwatch scene. I'm an ex-competitive player. I've played in multiple hero shooters like Paladins and Dirty Bomb. I am now a streamer in Valorant, and I'm just trying to grow a little bit, meet some cool people, and have fun ultimately.
Nice. Well, we're really happy to have you here. We're going to get a little bit more from you later on. But for now, I want to tell you guys a little bit more about the show. So as I said, this is our recap show bringing you the best action in the gap between our weekly events. We're aiming to get through all the important information in under 10 minutes. Please bear with us if we can't do that. We will try our best though. And whilst we do that, we're going to be bringing you information, tips, and tricks with some well-known guests to help you grind better. One of those guests being, of course, Dreo. Really excited to have you here. But who is Project Gap? I'll tell you a little bit about them. Project Gap is a tournament organizer focused on the grassroots esports scene, running events in Valorant, Rocket League, and Overwatch. It is our mission to provide a platform for players of all levels to develop, have fun, and get noticed. If you're interested in what we're doing, check out our events on Challenger mode. And make sure to follow our socials. Links are in the description below. So now that we know a little bit more about Project Gap, a little bit more about what this show is all about, I think it's time we dive straight into it. The first segment that we're going to be running into is clips. We're going to be showing you a couple of highlight clips from some recent Valorant tournaments. We're going to be reacting to them, and our esteemed analyst is going to be telling us a little bit more about what happened. Don't laugh, that's your job.
You're too kind.
He's going to be telling us a little bit more about what happened in those clips. So, production, take it away.
So this is a 1 versus 4. It's a bit of a clutch situation, and just a kind of the end of the game, so seeing it out. Obviously winning at this point 11-5, but this one was picked specifically for this kind of reason. Velo, a UK Valorant, CS turned Valorant player, shutting it down in the server. Absolutely insane. 1 versus 4. He knows, we know, clip it. I mean, it is stunning.
I mean, he deserves to be very happy with himself there. Yeah, he's done super well there. He's got like 3 one-taps or 4 one-taps in there.
That was literal, like, pixels, though. Like, the head pops up. I mean, the reaction time you have to get something like that off. Yeah, props.
It's insane. For me, that second kill onto a player in mid, then transitioning to the player towards kitchen, one-taps, like you mentioned, a pixel, and transfers straight away to the player swinging onto the 4th. It's stunning stuff, and you can see why it's one of the hottest clips of this week.
I mean, you don't have to be an analyst to know how important a 1v4 clutch like that is. Come on.
Exactly.
Like, not to put down your importance as an analyst, but come on.
Unreal, honestly.
Alright, that'll segue us into our next clip. We're going to be rolling straight into clip number 2, and this actually comes from VCT over the weekend.
Yeah, and of course, it's that man Tens. I mean, he is just on fire at the moment. All of the hype is around him, and it's this shot for me.
Oh,
okay.
That's filthy. That's not allowed. That shouldn't be allowed.
No.
It's Tens in his absolute prime.
Even from that range as well.
Just
This man's
stunning.
learned. He's learned the spray pattern for the frenzy. You can just see it. He just knows.
Yeah, it is just unreal. And it technically should have been an ace there, but it got stolen by Sick at the end. But I mean, like the commentator mentioned, this is Ten's world and we're just living in it. He is a man on form at the moment and it's unstoppable. And that second shot, that just shows that Valorant gods are on his side.
Honestly, it has become so. We kind of make this joke about how it was tens and friends when he was on C9.
Yeah.
Now it's sens and tens, and I think that really does ring true. He's been performing exceptionally well, slotted in so easily with Sentinels. But let's jump on over to our third clip, which is also from VCT. Let's check it out.
Yeah, this is Caboose here, another ex-CSGO player, now making the transition, and very, very successfully as well on this NV roster. So he already picked up the first kill with a nade, and now they're bursting onto this site. But the problem is, you know, obviously they've been shot down by Moose. Picks up two nice frags there as well. Good, yeah, as you mentioned, a good use of the ult. But Caboose gets the spike down. Now it's about the post-plant positions here. 3 versus 4 in favor of Luminosity, but Caboose does say no. Huge for that first frag.
And again, it was one of those pixels as well.
Yeah.
See, this smoke, I don't know if this is on purpose or not, but there's a gap just there for the Sova to walk into.
Oh, what?
And then...
What?
Insane. He should not get away with more than one there. No. Just insane.
Vac.
Yeah, the spray transfer for those last 2 kills, ridiculous. Absolutely insane. And that last kill is just, as you mentioned, you should not be gifted that. If that smoke was purposeful, though, that is genius, because it leaves a perfect gap for him. And then, those last 2 kills, they're insane.
Out of this world.
Like, the reaction time, because he was so quick to jump literally from the far right of the smoke to the far left. You would almost think that he knew. Look at that! What is that reaction?
It's insane, honestly. There's a reason why this was seen as one of the best clips of the entire tournament, because that is just ridiculous. It shows just pure mechanics at its highest level.
I love it. Love to see it. All right, we're going to jump into our last clip. And this one, it's not from any tournament. It's just Jonas showing us some really interesting interactions with Astra.
Yeah, so I picked this clip specifically for this reason. So the new character Astra, kind of untested here, but it shows that you can, in Astra's astral form, you can see if someone's fate diffusing, which is so powerful to me. And I think it's slightly overpowered in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't think this was intentional whatsoever.
No,
I think they will try to remove this. This was brought up in the test early on, so I hope that they've got something, you know, around to fix this.
Yeah. It's so overpowered if it gets left in, because you can just hover in this astral form, wait, see if they're fate diffusing, and you can just play around. Post-plant positions become so overpowered as well if you have an Astra on your team.
I mean, you're not even supposed to, like, one of the things is you can't see, obviously, enemy players while you're in the astral form, because it's not meant to be that overpowered.
Yeah.
She's not meant to be like a sentinel with, like, a cypher cam that can just move at will. So to be able to spot something like this is a little bit broken.
I can see it causing a lot of problems. But as you mentioned, I'm sure this is something they'll patch out of the game, because that post-plant position will be so easy for the attack inside, and retaking a site if you know there's an Astra watching you. I mean, what can you do? You can't find her. You don't know where she is.
Exactly. Well, that's going to wrap up our clips for the week. And that means that it is now time to deep dive a little bit more with our guest for this episode. So we kind of introduced him, well, he introduced himself a little bit earlier on. Dreo, a content creator and streamer and washed up Overwatch player amongst other games. So tell me, Dreo, what's it like coming to the every other game graveyard that is Valorant, home to all the washed up players?
It's the same as every game I've gone to. At the start of Overwatch, it was similar with like the TF2 players. So, you know, these hero shooters have a way of attracting all these kind of washed up players like myself, but we take pride in it. We have fun in the games we choose to play, and in Valorant it's no different. There's a lot of fun to be had in Valorant, and you know, as a Yoru main, that's where the most fun is.
Main or one trick? This is important.
Main. I actually main Cypher, then Omen, and now Yoru. I come from Overwatch. I can play multiple agents, so...
So you really enjoy edgelords, is what you're telling me.
Oh yeah, I love them. Omen and...
Were you a Reaper main? This is important.
Reaper? Oh, I was close to a Reaper main. I played McCree, so a bit... almost.
The less edgy Reaper, fair enough.
True.
All right, well, now that we've become acquainted with our content creator friend, why don't you... Apparently you've prepared something for us, so take it away. Give us your insider information about stuff.
Hello, I'm Dreo, 22 years old from the UK. I am a Yoru main. I stream on twitch.tv/DreoUK. I'm just here to tell you a bit about Yoru. That's my goal here, to make sure some people, you know, learn something new. I just want to quickly say Yoru is an amazing agent. Don't flame him if you get any of the Insta Locker Yorus on your team. Just play with him.
Like you.
Like me, exactly. Just play with him, see how it turns out, and you never know, you might end up becoming a Yoru main yourself. So yeah, he's an important agent. I think he fills in. He's very, very diverse. He can fill in a lot of holes within a team, and he's not just a duelist as may seem. He can fill in gaps. He can use his flashes to help initiate. He can lurk really well with his fake footsteps, get into difficult positions with his gate crash, and his ultimate's brilliant. You can actually use his ultimate to gather information without dying by pressing your gate crash and ultimate at the same time to then return to your original spots. There's a lot of little tricks here and there that people can pick up on, and if you come check me out, I can be sure to show you all of them.
That sounds pretty exciting. Now, before we kind of started the show, you had mentioned something about wanting Yoru to get buffed. Now, everybody in the chat, please don't freak out too much. Explain yourself. Why would you like him to be buffed?
Sure, that's a good question. So, I think he does need a little buff. His hitbox on his flashbangs right now are a bit too big. They need to be shrunken down so you can use them more accurately. And overall, his entire kit is just ridiculously loud. The entire enemy team knows exactly where he is at all times. There's no real element of surprise to him as a duelist.
So what you're saying is, everyone, try to work with your Yoru, even though he's an elephant and the team's going to know exactly where you are.
Exactly.
Have I got that right?
Exactly. Maybe that's exactly it, and you can use that to your advantage sometimes. Sometimes because he's an elephant, you can draw out the defenders or the attackers to believe that there's a lot of presence somewhere. And that's where your team need to take advantage of and try to use their 5 heads to realize this and then, make space somewhere else.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense to me.
I only have the one head, so... Rip me, I guess.
Yeah, it just makes sense. I mean, it kind of poses this other sort of question about how to actually play and utilize Yoru. So, do you utilize them as kind of that entry, as you mentioned? You can play very, very aggressive as Yoru, and then sell the footsteps as if there's a load of you there, but there's actually only one. Or do you play that kind of support and lurk role, and throw off the teammate, give false information, sound cues which cause a rotate away from the site as your team attack the other bomb site? How is Yoru best utilized essentially in your eyes?
Brilliant. Perfect question here. I think he's, a jack of all trades. He can lurk, he can entry, he can initiate, he can do a lot of different things. The most important tip I'd give here is use Yoru unpredictably. One round you may be an entry, the other round you may be an initiator, the other round you may be a lurker. You have so many different angles to attack and defend as a Yoru. You have to utilize them all to make sure they have no idea what you're doing and where you're doing it.
That makes complete sense. Yeah, fair enough.
And remember, folks, if you don't know what you're doing, the enemy team can't know what you're doing.
Exactly. That's 5 head I've ever seen.
That's huge. Yeah. That's 6 head.
There you go. I grew some more heads while no one was looking. All right, guys. I think that is more or less going to wrap us up, though. So thank you, everyone, for watching. I hope you've learned something. I didn't, but, that's something between me and my Valorant gameplay. Thank you again to our analyst, Neo, for being here, and of course to Drio for being our guest. You were absolutely fantastic.
Thank you for having me.
We will see you guys next week for another show. I hope you all have a fantastic week. We'll see you next time. Save. Although they're making stuff happen, they've already.
So Marcus
Okay.
wants to just stop the assault. Honestly, as they peek heaven, Rolling Thunder is going to be coming out as Melon, pushing us. Counting the 3 and 9 from the family.
What are you saying about how lineups kill?